Here we are trying to cut some of these choke pieces off of this carb. While I had the carb apart and doing it here the most typical way somebody could do it, instead of putting it on a mill or something, because it is a light alloy, it's so easy to carve. I just decided to do it the most ordinary way. This is a hacksaw, so we're trying to see how far we can go. I'm actually using kind of a dull blade here, so I go through this kind of slow so I don't hit anything else or cause damage that I can't take out. I know this looks like I'm hacking the carburetor apart, but here we are partially through the I guess we're just doing some sculpting here is what we're doing with this is a pretty basic rotary file with wide teeth. If you use probably something like let's see, something for like hardened steel like this thing's gonna, as you can see, it gets filled up with aluminum. As long as you use some WD-40, it won't clog up on you as easy. And plus this stuff doesn't, it's not really all just aluminum, so it doesn't clog that easily. I didn't splatter WD-40 all over the camera lens, but let's go at it. I'll show you a little bit about how you can really go at a Weber. You can see the grinder got away from me just a little bit, and I touch areas I didn't want to touch, like right here. So you got to watch it. You got to hold it with both hands and go for it. Here I'm starting to grind away this other post. Looks easy, huh? Yeah, it's not. You really got to hold on to this thing so it doesn't get away from you and like crawl up this thing. Now you kind of got to decide, well, how am I going to sculpt all this, or is that enough? I might take this off here. See, and I just did this here. I mean, it's not a big deal, but this thing can really get away from you. I mean, if you don't watch, I might just take a sanding drum and get to that. But I got most of it off. I mean, this part I could have taken off instead of putting that plug in there. But I'm not going to bother. I think what I'm after is, you got to have a goal when you're after this thing. I'm kind of looking for cleaning up the front so you can actually see both barrels instead of all that other stuff. We'll look through all these bits so you can kind of see what kind of selection. I'm sure probably some of you got tons more than this, but this is what it might take. So I'm kind of looking at something that's really versatile, like this pointy thing, and it's got a lot of crosshatch in there, but I don't know. I'll see. I'll try to keep it lubed really good and see if I can get into some of the details. Alright, so I'll clean that up later. Oops, put this in. Got my private road course in the background. Anyway, let's get back to work. This is WD-40, which I put in a different container. See if that's in a better position for grinding. Well, it's better for this. Yep, that looks good. Nothing better to do on your day off than this, right? That would be a good angle there if I can do it. Or actually it might be good just the way it is. So you got those two flats there, and then you got like a step down bevel at the same time. Oh, anyway, it's coming along. Standard one in front there to show you the see what the difference is. And I don't know, to me it looks like two different carbs, doesn't it? I think it made quite a bit of difference to me anyway. There's a lot of cleanup, and the only negative is if, you know, don't do this if you're in a Midwest or somewhere, you know, that the choke is just really needed for a long time. But in Southern California, you know, I mean, there's sometimes that, you know, you wish you had a choke, but there's, you know, with an 850 that's modified, any car that's modified, there's just a lot of, you know, exceptions and things you got to deal with, either a rougher ride, louder, you know, more maintenance, and this is just another part of it. So you just don't have as convenient of a startup procedure, which I've never had in most of my 850s. Anyways, I'm going to finish this up off camera, maybe hold the carb with my hand, probably not, probably I'll have to put it in a C-clamp and put it in a vise or just something else that I can get better angles, because it's getting to the delicate part now. I just kind of showed you how I did the initial. Let me just say I hacked away most of the aluminum that needed to be put away. Now I've got to do the detail work, which I might bring out my dremel tool and do some of that work. Well, we've switched over to doing some dremel work. I've already done some. Just want to show this odd one of these types of bits. Gives you some really good ways to get into some of these crevices, like in here. And let's see if we can get it. So I got a little bit more to do with this, kind of like, you know, getting in some of the areas that you can use. Actually, this piece, the bottom of it, I kind of got, you know, these angles. You can see this is, you know, delicate work, so that's what the Dremel's for. So it kind of makes it It's actually kind of fun. Maybe you've noticed this roofing nail on my workbench once in a while. Now you know what it's for. It just fits into this pretty well. Yeah, the sound behind me is what you got to use to teach yourself how you got to warm up your car when you don't have a choke. Well, my 850 doesn't sound like that, but whoops, there you go. See how that got away from me? I just kind of hit the top of that, but well, sometimes you gotta just stop. The more farther you go, you might not get much return for your effort, and always keep in mind what your goal is here. There. I took off what I wanted to take off. Alright, let me find another bit. Trying to see, I don't know which one would, I want to try to smooth that out there, and I want to see if I can get the dremel in there at the right angle, if this would be better. It's a steeper angle. That's a little strange here. Oops, there I go again. There you get the angle right here. is a very catchy bit, and it wants to take off and grind a big mark in the side of my barrel here, so I'm going to hold it with 2 hands and get my head in the way. Probably. Yeah, I'm going to try to finish this up, and you know what, hopefully by today. It's a Friday morning, and a few car shows I might be able to make this afternoon, I hope, with this carburetor. Wow, that's very awkward. Oh, it fits in there pretty nice. This thing has got limited use, except for right in there. Maybe I picked the wrong bit. I think I'm going to switch to, I'll switch to a sanding drum and see where I stand with what we have done so far. These sanding drums I'm using, I go to, sometimes you can go to women's, well, women or men's, I don't know, makeup place, and they have tools for doing fingernails. And that's where I got this adapter drum piece, and then these drums that slip on and off. I really like these, so you don't have to put that. The dremel one has a little screw, and you got to expand this piece of rubber. This just kind of slips on for the ladies that like to do their, get their, actually it's their living, so they need something quick. And they have these sanding drums for quick work with those plastic fingernails. Now I'm trying to save this thing and get those gouges out of here. I wish I might even just use a flat file. I wish I never went so deep. Oh, that's looking better. See how that kind of blends in? Try to cover up my damage here. Probably sanding this to make it match the other side, so look if there is a difference, to kind of mirror them. Glued a piece of sandpaper onto this. Looks like a stirring stick. A file would work too. So I might just get a file because this is really scratchy. But I think I made a mistake and I ground into this and it just looks like a little chip. And I think it's still in there. And I don't think I'm going to get it out. I think I'll just have to live with it.